Breaking news, oh, breaking news. Everybody come inside. Please, it's a breaking news just reaching me. Says that Tinubu has gotten a court order to ban these protests. Yes, it is. It has been fact-checked. It has been verified. And I'm giving it to you live on my channel. Breaking news. Tinubu has just gotten a court order to ban this Free Nnamdi Kanu protests. The order was gotten later today because, you know, earlier today they have been fighting to get that order, but it's like the judge refused initially, but now it seems as if they have threatened him and they have, you know, they have used the Nigerian method of bribing and coercing and any way they can use to get order from court, you know, ex parte order, and they have finally bullied the judge, the Justice Umar, to grant that order against his own will. This is how courts in Nigeria are suffering under, you know, the executive, and they have already been hijacked by the executive. Let me read out this report for you. It says, the federal government of Nigeria has secretly secured a restraining order against human rights activist and pro-democracy campaigner Omoyele Sowore and others planning the October 20th, 2025 Nnamdi Kanu protest. This comes after the court initially refused to grant its ex parte requests. Now, it was reported that Justice M.G. Umar of the Federal High Court 5, Abuja, had declined to grant an ex parte injunction filed by government lawyer Wisdom Madaki, who represented the police and the federal government. You know, the suits marked FHC/ABJ/2202/2025 sought to bar Sowore, the Take It Back movement, Revolution Now, and persons unknown from participating in or organizing or promoting the planned protest demanding the release of detained separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu. At the earlier sitting, Justice Umar refused to issue the injunction without hearing from the defendants. Instead, he directed that Sowore and others be placed on notice and adjourned the matter to October 21st, a day after the scheduled protest. However, in a dramatic twist on Friday, fresh information obtained revealed that the presiding judge later granted the order privately after summoning the government's counsel into his chambers. This is the bad news reaching my table, and unfortunately it is coming at a time that people are about, you know, putting their final gear in how Monday is going to look like. The federal government decided to strike at the last hour so that there will be no other time to go and counter this judgment. Such a pity. Now, this is what I have to say. First and foremost, this order means that the Nigerian police has been given, you know, the powers, you know, to protect, you know, the order of court. And that means a crackdown is expected on Monday. Because when a court like this gives a judgment, the police is now having the legal backing to go in and enforce the court's, you know, judgment. That means the federal government is asking the court to allow or to approve the police crackdown. That's exactly what the court is saying, that the police are now free to come out and crack down on innocent protesters. That is one. Also, number two, protest all around the world is a fundamental human right enshrined in the Constitution. You know, your right to assemble, your right to voice out when you are not being heard, your right for freedom of speech, and your right to demand things from your government. All these are enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution and in the UN Charter. So the government cannot take away your human rights, and the government cannot even give you your human rights. The government only is allowed to protect your human rights. That means, and having said that, I want to add that the job of the police on Monday is not to arrest or to quell any protest. It is to protect the protesters. That should be what they are going to court to get. They should go to court to get an order for them to be able to protect Nigerians on that day, to protect people. when they are protesting, to support them, to guide them properly on the particular roads they should follow, and to make sure that the protest is not hijacked by unscrupulous elements. That is the job of the police. Also, this goes to show that there are people who are working behind the scene day and night, who do not sleep as we do not sleep, who do not move when we do not move. In fact, these people work with generator while we are even asleep to make sure that the remote or motor show from their rooms, from their hotels, from their bedrooms, from their mansions. Because everything happening in Nnamdi Kanu's court, I told you, is orchestrated in a room, in a house. Take it from me. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 people, not more than 5, who are doing this thing to Nnamdi Kanu. They have decided that this man will never ever leave that cell forever. Because tell me, what is the political gain of Nnamdi Kanu in the prison at this point in time? What leverage does it give even the federal government as he's in the prison right now? It does no good to Tinubu's political, life. It does no good to Wike's political life. If not for anything, it's only causing more damage to whatever they think that they are doing. So Nnamdi Kanu in the cell is more of a personal vendetta, a personal grievance. People are keeping him there for a much bigger problem, like the Fulani terrorists who are in the bushes in the south to southeast Igbo land, who have taken over lands, hijacking farms. This is the major agenda, to Islamize and Fulanize Nigeria. This is it. To cause, mayhem in their land so that they can skip, so that the white man, the British, can keep on milking the oil, and the Fulani and the Islamists can take over the country. Because definitely they have promised them that if we give you these people's land, you give us their oil. And they have accepted it. That is where we are today. And also, any judgment gotten in an ungodly hour is an ungodly judgment. And any ungodly judgment can never stand. I know Sowore very well. Sowore is not going to back out on this protest. Sowore is going to go head on to the federal, to Aso Rock. So whatever they are doing there, they are doing for themselves, because they know very well that Sowore is not going to back down. Yes, so how will Monday be? Definitely the protest is going to hold, but the police are going to man several positions, blocking the protesters from going to critical areas to let their voice be heard. At this point in time, I'm calling upon the UN, the US to beam their searchlight on Nigeria on Monday, because definitely nothing is going to stop the protest on that day, because already enough mobilization has been made by Sowore, and people around definitely cannot stop today. The Nigerian government has no right to stop a protest. The courts has no right to deny anybody fundamental human rights. Nobody can deny anybody fundamental human rights. Getting a judgment from court does not stop anything. You can't get a judgment from court to stop someone's human rights. No judge has the power to do that. The protest has been tagged peaceful protest by Sowore. Clear. It seeks to demand the release of Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't seek to go and overthrow the government. It doesn't seek to go and destroy government property. It's just to create awareness, and the world should come and see what is going on in this man's life, and perhaps the government should start making out steps to release him. Very simple. So why is the government afraid? Why is Wike afraid? Why is Tinubu afraid? Why is Sultan of Sokoto afraid? What are they afraid of? You are not afraid of bandits in your town. You even bring them into your local government. You give them titles and give them money and guns and weapons. You give them military grade weapons, but yet you are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu, who has been politely following you to the court and back. Who told you that Nnamdi Kanu cannot, sitting down in that cell, cause chaos in the southeast or even around Nigeria? Who told you that Nnamdi Kanu cannot do that? Who told you he doesn't have the capacity to say a word and Nigeria will just, shake? But he is following it because he said it from the one that he doesn't want violence, that he wants a peaceful referendum. That is what he stands for. Now they have bullied this justice, they have bullied this judge, and they have squeezed out a report from him. Only God knows what they did to him. Only God knows the kind of word they used on him. It's funny how this country works. I pity for judiciary. I pity for armed forces. I pity for the police. No wonder the Nigerian police is one of the worst in the world, because the government made it so. Nigeria is the only country that they will create an institution and make sure that they are the weapons fashioned against it and pull it down. If you work in Nigeria, you are an enemy. Nigeria is a machine that is not built to function. Till I see you next video. Peace.